All-Star here from the DD Gods. I'm just coming in here with a deck profile with my boy Juggs. Juggs, say what's good?
Hey, how's everybody? Like you said, I'm Jugs. This is a deck profile for one of my favorite decks of all time that I went undefeated in at locals with. I went undefeated with Orcust.
Yes, sir, Orcust, and you are the Orcust guy in our server. So I'm happy to see you actually did well with this deck right here.
Yeah, Zach is a doubter. Zach is a hella doubter of Orcust, but I'm glad that I was able to prove him wrong in this specific instance.
All right, so
So,
let's get right into it. Show me what you got here, man.
all right, so the ratios are kind of weird, and these are subject to change because I lab and I test ratios a lot. So for the Orcus, they're very standard. You play 3 Gearsu. This is just one of the best starters, just very standard, right?
It seems to be like
And
the best card in the deck, actually.
pretty much, well, the best card in your deck now is Scrap Recycler,
Oh
in my
wow,
opinion. But Gearsu is like basically your second best card. If you can't open Scrap Recycler, you open Gearsu. That's also like full combo.
nice.
So then you also play 3 Nightmare and 2 Skeleton, 1 Bombard, and 2 Wand. And then that's my package for the Orcust. It's pretty big because I play Machinas, and Machinas facilitate a lot of discard fodder. So if you draw you actually kind of want to draw your Nightmares so that you can facilitate the discard fodder, because like you can redeployment pitch Nightmare or Machina Fortress pitch Nightmare. You have so many ways to like pitch the Nightmare out of your hand that drawing it isn't really a brick anymore.
Ah, okay, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you play the 1 Bombard, so if you don't get your ways to draw, you just Bombard Link Karibo Nightmare, it's full combo.
Sheesh.
And then for the scrap package, you play 3 Recycler as obviously the starter. You play 3 Raptor. This is the reason that I wanted to test the deck again at a competitive level, because I recently got this card, so I wanted to test it again.
Scrap Raptor. I've seen a lot of combos with Scrap Raptor. It's actually insane.
It's crazy. The card's nuts. You got like FTKs, you got even Dark Warrior has been using it a little bit. Like it's a nutty card. But and then you got the 2 bricks, 1 fridge, 1 Rosenix. So I've seen people bump fridge up to 2 and play factory. I like this, but I personally don't agree with it when you play with Machinas, because you're splashing too much scrap when you're playing with Machinas. So when you play, because you're already playing, because you're bumping the deck's already 42. I'm because like statistically, mathematically, the math is 43 is the max for
Mhm.
like consistency's sake. 43 is the max. So if I so if you have lib, because this deck does not have lib, like this is just add succession and then take out a scrap wyvern for lib, because I play 2 scrap wyvern.
Ah, okay, okay. That makes
So
sense.
so then you play the max, and so this is your minimal chances of seeing the fridge.
You don't want to see the fridge at all.
You don't want to see the fridge at all, and if you do, it doesn't really matter, because chances are chances are you drew like the Gearsu. You either drew Gearsu, because you play uh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You play 12 normal summons. 12 starters. So it's very easy to find something other than Scrap Recycler.
Not bad.
Actually, you play my bad. I think you play 15 starters. You play 15 starters, and 9 of which are recycler, but 3 are redeployment. so you can pitch the Nightmare.
Oh,
So
okay,
it doesn't
okay.
really matter. So so for the Machinas, you can flex spot the two flex spot Machinas. So the three main combo pieces are Metal Cruncher, Irradiator, and Megaform.
Mhm.
So the combo is add Irradiator and Megaform, and then you would discard Megaform to summon Irradiator, Irradiator effect target Megaform, and destroy Mega Irradiator to summon Megaform, and then Megaform Tribute to summon Metal Cruncher add Recycler, and then normal Recycler.
Ah, okay, okay. That's the combo.
So that's the combo. But um, redeployment states that you need to add exactly two.
Mhm.
Because it has two different effects. It either discard a Machina, add two different Machina cards, or discard any card, add two different Machina monsters. So these are the two Machina flex spots in case you draw open one of these.
Mhm.
So Citadel's really good. It's just a Raigeki. It's a Raigeki, and its target is generic. It's any machine. So you can like target Ding, for example, and so you can put it back in grave to reborn it,
Makes sense.
which has come up pretty much a lot. It's come up a lot. And then Fortress is just an all around great card. Hand rips, pops one, summons itself by discarding, and it can discard itself. So if you open like Fortress Nightmare, you just discard itself in Nightmare. So it's very nice. And then you just play the other three. The three kind of these are like pseudo garnets
Mhm.
because these two are like Metal Cruncher is like the biggest garnet out of the three of these because you draw a Radiator, that's fine, just search the other two Machinas and then you go off. Um, Metal Cruncher, like you cannot see in your hand pretty much, so you only play like 4 bricks.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but I do play the Dark Warriors because with Machinas, you don't really need to use your normal summon all that often, except on your obviously your starters. So just to maximize on your normal summons is really good. So that's why you play Dark Refer and Armor Knight. And then personally, I think the best hand trap in this deck right now is Nib. Not because it's the only hand trap I can fucking use right now, but I think Nib is just personally the best hand trap because all your shit is in the grave.
Makes sense.
Like you just make everything in the grave so you can like you pass. Like Nib is just such a powerful card. Like your combo is so fragile sometimes where Nib can stop your opponent's combo and then you can play again. So it's pretty good.
Makes sense.
And then that's it for monsters. It's like it's 29 monsters. So it's a pretty hefty amount of monsters, but you play a lot of ways to discard. And then for spells, you play 5 one-of spells. You play 1 Babble, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Called By, 1 Rhoda, and 1 1-for-1. The 1-for-1 I've tested, and it has come up for me so much in the sense that the discard, the send 1 monster, is so valuable. So just it unbricks your hand. 1-for-1 unbricks your hands by a lot.
I mean, since a lot of your cards activate in the graveyard, it seems like a good idea to send cards to graves.
Yeah, like it's a no-brainer because a lot of people don't play 1-for-1, and I kind of question it a little bit because they're like, oh, it's just the one of Bombard, but it's like it doesn't really matter. It's just a discard. It says discard, so and then you play the best. This is basically the best card in your deck at this point. This is like actually the best card in your deck. Like
Makes
Scrap Recycler
everything
is good
go.
and all, but Redeployment is the best card in your deck. It's basically Scrap Recycler. This is actually the best card in your deck. And then I also play 3 Chalice because Orcust inherently cannot break boards.
Mhm.
So you need a way to actually break boards with having monsters on field. Imperm cannot do that
Hmm.
because you need a way to bait out negates. So Gearsu in and of itself is two negates baited out. The send and the token made.
Ah, okay,
But you
okay.
so you normal Gearsu negate with Apo. One battle phase attack over Apo. Effect to make a token, negate. So that's like it's two negates, and then if you have Chalice, it's basically game over if you have follow up. So Chalice is just really good. His deck is very, very budget. And then you just play two traps, Overdrive and Crescendo. Overdrive is crazy.
Oh,
It
what's
basically
overdrive do?
so Overdrive says it targets a machine, destroys it, and summons a Machina with a different name. So you can target like a Ding, destroy it, summon a Citadel from the deck, and then you reborn the Ding again. So what you can do with this is that if you draw, let's say if you draw your where is it? Your Metal Cruncher, and you redeployment, discard Metal Cruncher, you can add Overdrive because you discarded a Machina. So you add Overdrive and Fortress, and then you like Fortress, discard Nightmare, whatever, whatever, end on Ding, Ding and Grave, and then you reborn Ding and then Overdrive to make a. So you make at least two Raigeki, basically a Battle Butler and a Ascend.
Not bad.
Yeah, the card itself is just crazy. So for the extra deck, that's it for the main deck. So for the extra deck, you have two Ding because three is just too much. You play a total of four Link ones.
Okay.
You play one Link Spider, one Link Karibo for your Gear Suit targets, one Almirage for it was for Scrap Recycler. So like if your Scrap Recycler gets like impermed or ash and you have like Fridge basically, you can just like reborn it back. It's really niche, but it comes up sometimes. And
Understood.
then this is like a little sauce that I really enjoy, but like one gravity controller. This just unbricks a lot of like hands. So it makes the hands go a lot more fluid.
Hmm.
So like so usually Armageddon Knight wouldn't end on Ding with Grave in Grave. So this makes it the gravity controller makes it so that Armor Knight ends on a disruption.
Oh, okay, okay. I get that.
So yeah. Because Gearsu ends on IP. So Gearsu ends on two disruptions, Armor Knight ends on one with gravity controller.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And you play two Galatea for Link 2s, two
Hmm.
Scrap Wyvern, one IP, self explanatory. And then for Link 3s is just one Nightmare Unicorn. And then for Link 4s, Boral Sword and Apollosa. So the deck is just really budget. Um, if you it just needs like a lot of technical play.
Hmm.
It just in order to actually like be good, you just need to practice a lot with the deck basically. You need to know like the combo lines, the rulings, like everything like that.
And what?
And then
Well,
go
let me
ahead.
see the side deck. I know you had side deck had to have spice in it, so for you to do so well with it, because I know the main deck is tough, but you know the game 2 and 3 are always tough.
Game, okay, so the side deck is pretty standard, but it's very unusual.
Okay.
I'll give you that. But I did do well with it, so I'm not complaining about the side deck. So side deck is one Pankratops. This never came up. I would replace it for a Feather Duster. I recently just got a Feather Duster, so I'm just replacing it for Feather Duster.
Nice.
Um, the card that people will be thrown off about is Triple Lancia. So you don't side this in going first. You always side this in going second.
Hmm.
it's not something because like what people don't understand is that you don't cite it and going. If you know you're going to go first, it's an insurance policy basically. That's all it is. Because like I went against Dino, and I knew he was going first because he was running scrap combo, and he was like, I was like, okay, citing Lancia, open Lancia, I win. I
Now,
won that game because he
Lancia
opened my
does beat a lot of the meta decks.
yeah. Because like Lancia is just like it's just a meta call. Like these cards, Lancia and Droll and Lockbird are just meta calls right now.
100%. 100%.
So these can be interchanged with like anything else you want. So like if you are scared of like your locals, if they play too much like PK, they play too much like decks that banish, play switch out the nibs in the main for Lancias, you know? Or if
Always
they
ready.
play yeah, just like be always ready for it. And then I play double cosmic and double twin. We got rated ratios in this bitch. So my reasoning behind this is because you play two cosmic and two twin is because it's just basically like maxing out. It's essentially playing like three cosmic, one harpies. It's the same like ideology.
hmm
So that's all it is. It's because I don't have harpies. But now that I have harpies, it doesn't really matter.
Makes sense.
But for traps, it's just 3D barrier. This came up once. I went against a very skilled Cyber Dragon player, and I waited until I had D barrier, and then he impermed me on Galatea. So I had to set the D barrier and pass, and then I waited until he Galaxy Soldiered. Because I had Chalice set and D barrier set, so I waited until he had two Galaxy Soldiers on field to D barrier Colixes, and then he links two into Verte, and then I chalices Verte. So
Wow.
it's like those weird like little plays that like kind of win you the game. Because like if I just like blind D barriered, I would have lost. Because he would have, if I blind D barriered, I would have lost simply because he would have been like, oh, I'm just not going to go with the play to fusion summon slash Xyz summon.
Those are heads up plays.
Yeah, and then you just have one red reboot, which I didn't go against Monkey Flip, so I never play. I didn't side it in.
That's not
But
bad.
yeah, that is pretty much the deck. If you have lib, put it in, please, to save yourself like the trouble of labbing out the deck as much as I did.
Someone get this man a lib.
Yeah, because I ordered a lib. I ordered a lib about 2 years ago. Never came in the mail. All
Well, thank you, Jugs.
right,
Appreciate you
no,
for giving a deck profile, man. Is any
no
shout outs you
problem.
want to give?
Shout outs to obviously shout outs to DD Gods. We love DD Gods out here. They always help me out with decks. They always helping me out with profiles. They always doubted me, bro. They always doubted me, but Nike, bro, he's yo.
Real one.
Every
Real
time
one.
Nike's a G. Like he's got the sauce with the Cyber Solid, bro.
You know the vibes.
We know the vibes. And shout outs to the Duelist Alliance.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Duelist Alliance. My friends of the Duelist Alliance, love tournaments there. There's a good time there.
That's perfect. Well, thank you again, Jugs. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and